Hey, there's no shame in trying things that people ain't never tried before.
Fellow ladies, it's been a long day. I got a tattoo on my ass earlier. Two tattoos, actually. A black circle on one ass cheek and a white circle on the other. It's not yin and yang. In fact, it doesn't really mean anything specifically. It merely means the dichotomy of woman. And it changes meanings every day. And even when you see my ass and you see the tattoo, what you see and what it means could be something completely different from what I see and what it means. We just operate on a high spiritual level here on Skimmerlit. In this video's context, these circles represent heroes. A black hero and a white hero. Because today, we're discussing which heroes we choose and why, and which we should, which we shouldn't. People usually take heroes to be guided by them or to model themselves after them. And these are the worst kinds of heroes. Movements too, really. They create an ideal image, or a philosophy, or a way to be, and rope everyone in behind it, either by scare tactics or peer pressure or insecurity on the taker, the individual's part. Either the hero, the movement, the object, scares or convinces the subject, the individual, into adopting this ideal image or way to be, or the subject is too insecure or too gumptionless to stand on their own. An example. I liked Stefan Molyneux a lot when I was younger because he was the guy and he was saying the things. And man, did I like Stefan Molyneux memes and did I want to donate $1. Because if I'm under Stefan Molyneux, then I'm something. But if I'm not, then I'm nothing. Because he's saying it and because everyone in his flock is saying it. So I bend the knee out of fear of other people and insecurity in myself and model myself after this piece of shit so I can hopefully be something, maybe, because I'm nothing. That's a really pathetic way to be. And it's why, even if I agree with a quotes hero or a movement or an idea, I won't meme with them. And I'll dislike people who meme with them. There's a difference between liking a clean room because you like a clean room and liking a clean room or pretending to like a clean room or just cleaning your room because your ideal object, your hero, tells you to. You take on a meme appearance. You turn off your brain. You fall in. You adopt their strategies even if they're unsuited to you. Even if these strategies which your hero uses and are supposed to work don't work for you, you still do it. And you say things you don't mean. Because you're a nester. Boys, you don't have a self to be, so you introject a hero. If your hero or your movement pushes you into a bad spot to be something you aren't, that's not a good hero, that's not a good movement, and that's not a good way to be. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm a piece of shit. So, now that we've alienated even more of our audience and lost the entire audience I just shilled to get, how do we choose good heroes? What constitutes a good hero? Which heroes should we choose, ladies? Well, this comes back to my ass, like most things do. Good heroes are something. They are heroic. They are successful. They do have a philosophy, a strategy, and it works for them. And they invite you to be something also, to have a strategy, to have a philosophy. But they don't push theirs on you. They don't try to make you have theirs. They invite you to create your own. Everyone has a strategy and a philosophy they can develop. Adopting someone else's, especially when it's unsuited to you, only makes things worse. Good heroes are themselves, but they promote you. They might share themselves in what they have with you, but they're promoting you to be you once you have a self to be. Now, regarding my fat, juicy ass cheeks, or rather, the tattoos on them, the black circle and the white circle, my heroes. Alan Watts and Patrice O'Neal. I'll get into why they're my heroes. But first, I must say, I was insecure about telling people who my heroes were, because I don't want to seem derivative. Or rather, I don't want people accusing me of being derivative. Because even though I'm the only human being who exists and only what I think matters, other people's opinions do bother me. And if you write derivative in the comments, I'm gonna slap this desk harder than you know. Explanation for why my righteousness and O'Neal's righteousness are different. They're the same, but they're different. In the comments. Just to prove I'm not a fucking Darite like you. Okay, I'm a stud. Alright, I'm a fucking hardcore guy with a very small dick. Which I've come to appreciate, because if I had a big dick, then... Have you ever tried to get your cock made fun of, and it's too big to be made fun of? That's a terrible existence, man. God, I don't envy people with big dicks. or tall people. Or people who can lift lots of weight. Or people who don't spurg out on people socially. I don't envy them at all. What an awful existence it would be to have all those things. I'm joking, I am genuinely happy to be a goblin weasel. But back to my heroes. Alan Watts, you listen to him and he says a lot. And unlike other snake oil salesmen, there seems to be method to his madness. The first time you see him, it's very easy to write him off as some English philosopher crackpot. Then you listen more and you think, hey, there's something here. This guy is saying something. And then you listen to him and you read him and you realize he's really saying nothing. And you can absolutely write him off. And not because his point of view is worthless, but because his point of view, his philosophy, is that you should write him off. You should write most things off. He's saying all this, and it means nothing, ultimately. And that's the point. And you might think, well, okay, he's not saying anything, it means nothing, then I just won't listen. But after listening, you feel enriched. Like you understand why you should write him off. And other people off, and other things off. And you also learn other things that do matter. In learning that things don't matter. Really, it's like a detachment. You detach yourself. You're trying to do something, so then you learn to stop trying to do something, and then you learn to stop trying to stop doing something, and then it implodes and it stops mattering. You come away realizing you can do anything. That's righteousness crystallized. You can do anything. If that's the thing to do, do it. It's less giving you something to do and more validating anything you do that feels like you should be doing it. At least that's my takeaway. Fortunately, he's dead. So, he's not swapping up the game on me. I recommend most of your heroes be dead. I've yet to find a living hero. I found a few living totems, which we'll touch on, but I haven't found a living hero. Now for Patrice. It's less important here on this video what he's saying and more how I approach him as a hero, or use him as a hero, as a touchstone. Now, Patrice acknowledged other strategies, other philosophies, other paths. He recommended people do what they thought was right. But his own philosophy was refined and astoundingly effective for him. And he spent 95% of his time talking about and encouraging his own philosophy. And that's why he's one of my two only heroes. His philosophy was both unconventional unapologetic, and supremely effective. He promoted something nobody else did and had evidence it worked. I liked that a lot. And I also appreciated him encouraging people to their own philosophies, to their own paths. But even with people like Patrice and like Watts, who have strategies, but tell you to form your own, it's very easy to get insecure and try to adopt theirs, although it's unsuited to you. You do it because you're insecure, and it only makes things worse because their philosophies aren't suited to you, which is why they encourage you to your own. I've been getting insecure about women. I haven't been in a relationship in 5 months. I've been on 2 stupid dates to the cafeteria cafe. They both sucked, because you can't be honest with them, and you're putting up with their bullshit for something you don't even want. I don't crave sex like other men do, I think. And I thought I was gay for a while because of it. I don't think that's the case. But I'm sitting there in this cafe, putting up with shit for something I don't want, because I think I need it. I don't want to be phony and waste my time for basic sex I won't even like. I want affection and conversation with someone I respect, and paraphilia shit I can use to understand myself better. But you don't just get that. You don't just get the latter. You can't force it into existence. You have to fish it. You have to fish it out. You have to be very patient. And you can find it. You just have to be confident and patient and on your game and be ready to fish. You have to fish. You have to wait. Fishing isn't hunting, boys. You have to fish. So what do? What do I do when I'm supposed to be patient, confident, and fish? Well, I get really insecure and bitchy, and I jump off the boat and into the water, and I flounder. I can actually get myself into comfortable holding pattern situations, but they aren't exactly what I want. And I'm not getting exactly what I want, and not only am I not getting exactly what I want, but I'm also insecure that I can't force something I don't want to happen. So I freak the fuck out. I adopt someone else's strategy, which is completely unsuited to me. Not just in practice, not just in method and mechanics, but in goal. I'm insecure, so I get a tool I don't know how to use, and I fucking hack, and I saw, and I try to reach something I don't even want, just to stop me from feeling insecure, just to make me feel secure. I used to talk to shitty, stupid girls and waste my time because I was afraid I couldn't get them. Not because I wanted them. Not because I wanted them, but because I was afraid I wouldn't be a man if I couldn't get them. That's why I ended up wasting so much time on nothing. And that's what happened here. That's exactly what happened here. I was starting to be comfortable in fishing. But man, when everyone else is hunting and you're not hunting, God, you're a fucking fag, right? So you gotta get back on that bullshit. But you are on your bullshit, but you're not on that hunting bullshit. So you go to the hunter and try to get their hunting tools, and you fuck it up. You fuck it up. That's a very nestery thing to do. It's a very nestery thing I did. You adopt someone else's methods, which are unsuited to you. You take their means unsuited to you to try and maybe reach ends that are definitely unsuited to you, because they're their ends. They're not your ends, and they're not your means. And you do that because you're insecure, because you give in to peer pressure, or because you doubt yourself, and it never ends up well. Unless you don't have a self to be, never will have a self to be. If you're just an empty hole, you really are a nester, do it, by all means. But if you're a human being, you want to accomplish something, you have a shit to be on, stay on your shit, ladies. So, in summary, bad heroes, bad movements. Outside objects forcing you to be a certain way, and you willingly be the certain way because you don't have a way to be, or you ignore it. Ignore those heroes. Build your own strategy. Good heroes. People with their own strategies. People with things you can learn from. But encourage you to your own strategy or to build your own strategy because they acknowledge that what works for them won't work for you, and what works for you won't work for them. That's how you choose your heroes, boys. And I mentioned totems earlier. These are like heroes, but they're living people or just people you kind of respect, you kind of like. I like Greg Giraldo. I like Jim Norton. I like Ayn Rand. I'm glad they all existed, but they aren't in my hero camp. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. I am going to lose every single subscriber I just gained from that shilling, and God, I love it. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes, and comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. Who are your heroes? I swear, if you comment derivative, I'm gonna call you a fucking Darite. So who are your heroes? I am curious. But thanks again for watching everybody, really. We have a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact, we could charge up a USB speaker and blare the fun we're having on this channel everywhere. I don't want you to do that. I want you to promote my channel, because I'm a piece of shit who runs people away rather than bringing them in. But I don't want you to blare it out on a speakerphone. Okay, that's just a little crazy. That's a little wild. But that's how much fun we have on this channel. And I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.